Networking. Smile, meet, chat, join for networking.
Hello there, welcome along. It is For Networking. My name's Steve Hyland. This is episode number 5, and it's great to have your company. And as always, our star of our show today, hosting the thing, it's the fantastic Brad Burton. Brad, good to have you with us.
How are you doing? All right.
Fantastic, actually. I tell you, very exciting time in 4N at the moment, isn't it?
Oh, we're delighted.
And I know you've got some great news coming up in just a moment. We've got a great guest as well today. Matt Richardson is going to be joining us a little bit later on. You'll be able to find out what he gets out of 4 Networking as well and how he's helped his business grow as well. But before we get into that, let's talk about 4 Networking as a business. Lots of great news coming out of you guys.
You know, we set a target at the start of the year to increase membership by 20%, and now month 6 we're up to up 13%. Some regions are up 17%. We're on the up. We're on the up. It's wonderful.
And that is just amazing, isn't it? The fact that we're seeing growth in the networking. Is that because you think businesses are getting hungry to get new customers and to spread their wings?
Steve, I do love your question. I actually think that one of the contributing factors is the economy's on the up. I think everyone had battled down the hatches and now they're getting back up and the confidence is coming back. And I also believe it's the confidence in 4 Networking. You know, me as managing director, I've seen this network go up and I've seen it go down and I've seen it go back up again. And I think that's what's going on. We've got an amazing leadership team in the form of the board that we've got with the new director, Jason Dutton, come on board. And I think he's added confidence to me, adding confidence to the network. And, you know, it's just wonderful to see.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to give you a break one month, and we'll get Jason to come on the show on his lonesome, and he can sit here. We'll grill him a little bit.
You know what? I think that would be absolutely fabulous, and I'd also think it'd be useful if we also got Terry Cooper, the chairman, in there. Maybe get these two in there just to get a different look at 4 Networking and actually 4 Networking TV. Because it's not just me. You know, I'm the guy there that everyone sees on TV, radio and so forth. But, you know, I'm surrounded by an amazing team.
Do you think the character of the organisation is changing?
Oh, Steve, that wasn't on the list. Hey, stop, I want my agent. Do I think the character of 4 Networking is changing? Categorically, yes, it is. It's you know, we've got over those teenage years now, and we're getting a more sensible, balanced organisation, but we still have the edge. I think the edge that built 4 Networking from the formative years, 2006, 2007, 2008, no longer appropriate. It wouldn't work anymore. But equally, we're making every bit of energy, every bit of drive and every bit of focus, now we're putting in the right areas, whereas before I think we've been guilty of getting it wrong. So as an organisation, as you can see, we're really honest about what we are, and we are learning and we're getting better.
Now, that success of the growth of 4 Networking is also reflected in the Business Networking Show, isn't it? Tell us what's going on there. Delighted,
Steve. Once again, the Business Networking Show, Friday, September the 18th over at Wolverhampton. This is the second year we've run this show, and what's really interesting about this is when we started the Business Networking Show, people said you've got no chance of bringing all the relevant and different organisations together, and we achieved it, we pulled it off. But what's happened this year is we've already sold out every single exhibition stand. You cannot get an exhibition stand now, and this is 7 weeks out, and we've sold more stands now 7 weeks out than we did the entire length of last time.
Well, if you haven't been, or if you didn't get to the show last year, really do not miss out on the opportunity to come along. It was a fantastic show. I think probably it was better than everybody expected, wasn't it?
Yeah. What happened, Steve, is with the energy, we brought the X Factor, which is always something that we do. You know, normal business shows are quite formal state affairs. What we've done with the Business Networking Show, which we've literally turned the volume up. So we had lots of AV, lots of big screens, high production values, and you had to shout to talk because there's music on in the background. We just did it right. And once again, fundamentally, it's different. Same way we've done with 4 Networking, it's different to any other network. There's thousands of networks around the UK. Same goes for the Business Networking Show. It's not a business show, it's a business networking show, and it respects that. But the fact is that we've sold every single stand. You cannot get a stand at the Business Networking Show, even for me.
Which is great news. Now, if you'd like to go along, we've got a very special offer for you today as well. Tickets are normally £20, but Brad, you've got a deal, haven't you?
We've got a deal. We've got a deal for everyone who's watching 4 Networking TV. If you go onto the businessnetworkingshow.info, go onto the website where it says buy tickets, click there, and you'll have the opportunity to buy a ticket for £20. If you put this code in, BB15, you'll get a £5 off.
So there we go, discount code BBE15. And of course, you can always follow it on Twitter as well, for that matter.
That's right, at TBNS Show.
Simple and as straightforward as that. If you want to get your tickets, simply go online. You can follow us on Twitter, and that is The Big Show. Now, let's talk a little bit about 4NTV. Of course, we've got the monthly show that is like this, which is this one.
Which we love it, Steve, by the way. Can I just say, Business Connections Live, love it. Honestly, these guys who look after us, it's probably a bit of a plug, we shouldn't be doing that, but I don't care. Business Connections Live, do check these guys out. These guys have been supporting us since day one, and we love it. Sorry, Steve, go on.
Well, no, thank you very much indeed for the plug. And we are going to be broadcasting live from the TBNS show for the entire day. So we look forward to meeting you there. But let's talk about 4NTV as such, because you've got these real insights that are going out, and they are just absolutely incredibly engaging.
What we've done is the nature of 4 Networking, this national network, we run over 5,000 meetings across the UK. Each meeting we have something called a foresight. A foresight is an insight, not a sales pitch, into a specific field from a member. And actually what we've done, we've got the best foresights from around the UK, and we've got them to 4 Networking HQ. We've got 3 cameras set up, all wireless mics, and we film them and capture them. So if you go to 4networking.tv, you'll find season 1 there with 16 episodes of the best speakers from around the network. We've just launched season 2, and we've got our first episode that we've launched on season 2. Episode 1 is
this guy here, Benjamin Denny. He's going to be there, and this is a real foresight. Tell me a little bit about him, because he's a bit different. He's a bit like you with hair, isn't he?
That's probably the best description I've ever heard there, Steve. I describe this guy as a business BG. He's a sales trainer, but he's a sales trainer like no other. I've never encountered on my 10 years of networking a sales trainer as dynamic as this. What I'd say to you is do get onto 4networking.tv, have a look at season 2, episode 1. And I say to anyone, watch 20 seconds. You watch 20 seconds, you'll end up watching 20 minutes.
Smile, be and chat, join 4 Networking.
Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Benjamin. I am the UK's second best motivational speaker. Yeah. And I'm also a brutal sales trainer. Now, when I get asked why am I the second best, it's because I can't be asked to be number 1, quite frankly. I've settled on second. Second place is one of the best places to be because nobody wants it. I can charge more because people think I charge less. I have to deliver better speeches and nobody wants my position. So, second best has its advantages, but I'm not here to talk about motivational speaking. I'm here to explain why your mother is holding you back in the world of sales.
Smile, be and chat, join 4 Networking.
Just really a bit of a tease there, actually. Fantastic insight too. If you want to go along, they're called Foresights. There's a whole series of them. You can watch that and really get some great information from it. And our thanks to Benjamin as well. And he's episode number 1, isn't he?
Episode 1, season 2, episode 1.
Now, it doesn't stop there when it comes to television, because you're doing all sorts of different things at the moment. I understand that you've been on the box. Tell us what are you up to?
Well, you know, I've been approached in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've been approached by 3 TV companies to get involved in TV programmes. I mean, you just think, wow, after 10 years, you know, the fact that my door gets knocked by, I don't know if these are going to work out or not, but some of them have worked out. I was recently filming for Dave Channel. I'm involved in a project there that I can't mention in name, but I'm in 4 episodes of that, and that's coming soon. And also Channel 4 have approached me to do, and it just shows you this is the thing about 4 Networking. You know, let's have this right here. I'm a member like every other person, and I'm using this platform to get myself a national reputation. People know me through 4 Networking, but you know what? I'm not the only one. There are other people within this network who people know, and you know, you can do whatever you want with this thing.
Tell us a little bit about Fortune Hunter, because that's something you've already done. That's been out on Sky, hasn't it?
That's right. And what's great about Sky programming is some of it gets repeated every 6 weeks. Brilliant. So I was on Fortune Hunter TV, and this is a programme with a guy called Lyndon Wood. And this guy he constructs a quote £150 million company, and he interviews entrepreneurs. Now, I'm not a hyper wealthy guy, and nor do I want to be. And that's what I covered off in Fortune Hunter. I said, look, you know what? All your guests who are worth millions of pounds, I'm not that person. But what I am is I've realised that my fortune lies in the fact that I'm a balanced individual and I've got a loving family. And I think that's the thing that sometimes as business owners we forget, that our success or failure is defined by our profit and loss sheet, and I think it's a mistake.
Give you a bit of an insight into what loads of insights and foresights going on today. But if you want a bit of a taster of Fortune Hunter, have a look at this.
Uniqueness has to be authentic. It has to be you. Am I an insurance broker the same as 4,000 or 5,000 other brokers, or am I a distributor of insurance products? Remember, why spend your life trying to fit in when you're born to stand out?
Well, you know, the thing is with me, if I think about my businesses, I used to be on these message forums on computer games. And a friend of mine, when I worked for a company over in London, he said to me, he said, Brad, you go into a room You make everyone start talking. You're like a Brad grenade, right?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, how can I make a business out of one, speaking to people online, and two, going into rooms and making people talk? Yeah. And that's why I started my networking business off. Some of the stuff that I've ever done, right? When I was in my corporate career, albeit a loose one, you know, I was told by the director team, Brad, your ideas are daft, they're not going to work, they're unworkable. And actually those same daft ideas are the ones that I've applied throughout all my businesses. Yeah. And this is what people say, oh Brad, you're crazy, that's never going to work, you're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy. For the last 10 years I've had people call me crazy, and now, you know, you're on the front cover of magazines, double page spread in the Time, Brad Burton, genius. You've got to have some passion for it, right? And this is what, you said to me, what makes my heart leap, I was saying from the outset, is making a positive difference. People do, and I say to people, start talking yourself into things rather than out of, because we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of that whole piece when you've got a difficult decision. And sometimes in life, some of the most difficult decisions, it's a bit like walking on a minefield. No matter which way you go, you're going to end up stepping on a mine. Yeah. This is what I say to people. It's a great one for your audience, this, right? If you knew you only had one day left of your life, what would you do? Yeah. And I say to people, go and do it. And the same goes for this whole piece about, if I'm selling extra days of your life now for £1,000, how many would you want? If you knew you only had one day left, how many would you want? As many as you could afford. Yeah. And that says to me that today is as valuable as the last day of your life. The difference is we just take today for granted. Yeah. And this is what I say to people. If you've only got this, want a £10 million business, sorry, it's not going to be enough. You use something, like you talk about rock climbing, use something where you can peg it. Say, right, if I get there, I've made distance, and I've made progress.
Made progress.
Absolutely.
You'll get that on Catch Up if you want. Simply go along to your Skybox. You'll find it on Catch Up. It is Fortune Hunter with Brad Burton. Also, you can find it on Brad's YouTube channel as well, for that matter. And you'll find it on 4 Networking TV's channel, won't you? 4 Networking TV, it's all over the place, actually. You can't escape it. It's going to be there. So do watch it. It's a real insight. That was just a bit of a taste, a couple of seconds. It's about 20 minutes in total, the programme, isn't it? It's a good show.
Very much so. You know, once again, these opportunities that are coming our way, there's no downside to 4 Networking and 4 Networking members for the more eyeballs we get. Like I say, I recognise this is not just about me, right? I know I'm the front man for this organisation. I started this organisation off, but it's not just me. But there is no downside to us getting more media coverage. I just think it's fabulous, because the more opportunities that we get for 4 Networking, the more opportunities we get for our members.
What do members get out of it, do you think? I mean, if you were giving a bit of a plug at the moment, or you're giving the whole organisation a plug, and there was somebody watching this that's never been to a 4N meeting before, what would you say to them? You
know, I started 4 Networking off because I needed 4 Networking for my first business, my marketing business. I'd come out of employment, started my own business off, and I'm going, oh, I've run out of ideas. 4 Networking is there. It's a place of work for small business owners. And yes, there's big businesses within 4 Networking, but primarily that's what 4 Networking is about. It's a place of work where you'll find appointments, you'll find friends, you'll find leads, you'll find support, you'll find advice. It is a complete business solution. And in my view, I'm biased, I don't think there's anything out there that comes close.
Do you think people make sales from it?
Oh, I know people make sales from it, no question. But, you know, fundamentally, if you tip up day one and go, guess what, I've got the best product ever, well, that's fine, I'm not interested. People need to build up trust, they need to know you, they need to like you, they need to trust you. Without that, you ain't selling nothing. I don't care unless you're selling £10 notes for a £5, I'll have 100 quid, see how we get on. But you fundamentally need that. People need to like you, know you and trust you. Without that, forget it. And that takes time. And if people come along to networking events and come there for 3 meetings and get nothing out of it, well, guess what? You're absolutely right. You're not going to... Let me ask you this question. Would you pass a lead, a referral, a job, a contact to someone you don't like, someone you don't know, someone you don't trust yet? Of course not. So on that basis, the reason that people pass you leads, referrals, jobs and contacts, are they like you, they know you, they trust you. Don't expect others to forgo the same checks that you're doing. That's the key to 4 Networking. It takes time. Now,
of course, if you're watching this right now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, he's bound to say that, isn't he? But it isn't just Brad that's saying that. Have a look at this.
I get probably about 85% of my work through 4N. My marketing budget is my 4N fee.
Well, I've got a number of clients that are ongoing, so yeah, I've definitely made more money than I've spent on 4N.
I did £180,000 in my second year of trading with 4N, my second year of being a member of 4N. To be honest with you, it is actually 70% of our business.
I've already got some people trying products, but I've got a couple of people who are also interested in the business. I think it's about that give and take. I've been able to utilise and refer a lot of people, even externally, to 4N.
My business is built around 4N. I would say 95% of my work come through referrals, and at least 75% of that comes from 4N.
It takes a while. You can't expect it to happen straight away, but sales will come through, and it's starting to now with me, and my bottom line's much better than it was. So yeah, it's working for me.
So a real endorsement of what 4N can do for your business when it comes to sales. So the first of our guests, in fact our only guest that we've got on the show today, Matt Richardson, Recognition Express from Bristol, North Bristol in fact. Is that right?
Yeah, thanks for having me today.
Well, it's fantastic for you to come along. 4N member. I mean, Brad, epitomises everything, doesn't he?
Our Matt, he's been a member for 6-7 years.
Yeah, about that.
You know what, and he runs Recognition Express, you can tell us about that in a second, you know, and he does promotional goods, and he's got a nickname within 4 Networking, which is Matt with the tap, but a bit probably unfair that actually, because some of the stuff he sells is real quality. But he was also a band member. You run a band, is it run? Is that a word?
Well, yeah, I'm a bass player for a professional wedding band.
Right, and we've used you twice for 4 Networking.
You've used me 3 times, and your birthday.
3 times? Oh, exactly.
Yeah, I play the guitar and mouth off a bit and abuse a few people.
So Matt, tell me about your business.
Recognition Express, it's a national franchise specialising in business promotional products, corporate clothing, ID cards, you know, the usual sort of stuff. But what we do is we sell products that get people known and seen. And as you can see there, I brought some high quality products.
What's that one, Matt? Because it looks a little bit...
See, that there is a fruit water bottle, but the reason I bring that is because in meetings, when I show them the inner part of it, it does get a bit of a giggle, and I get people to guess what it is. And all the... There we go, absolutely, yeah.
Something for the weekend there, Steve.
Something for the weekend, and not great for stopping babies.
No, but in all fairness, this is the latest thing, isn't it? And you can brand these up.
I can brand everything. All of a sudden this year, everyone's decided they want to drink water. They want to drink coffee and water. So all I've done this year is tons and tons and tons of drink products. Because people say to me, oh, come up with something cool, come up with something different. Well, actually, everyone drinks water. Everyone has coffee.
Good.
So actually, as long as it's functional, with a brand on, job done.
So you've evolved through 4 Networking. I remember when you used to have a proper job, didn't you?
Proper job, yeah. I worked in IT, selling IT.
That's right, yeah.
I just wanted to change after doing sort of corporate for 18 years. I wanted to wake up and not spend an hour and a half commuting in the car.
I get that.
So my commute is about 1.5 seconds to a back bedroom.
Wonderful. And you've got a transferable network, because when you started 4 Networking, within 4 Networking, I recall back in the day when you were with a different company, you've now brought all that credibility that you've got to your own business. What would you say in terms of getting the best from 4 Networking based on your experience?
Make sure you explain your product and what you do. The amount of people go, oh, you know what I do. You know what I do. I do NLP and blah blah blah. And we always presume that people know and care what on earth we're talking about, but nobody actually really knows. So instead of saying you know what I do, tell them. But in a way that if they were with someone else, they could explain it without looking like an idiot.
So the other thing is, from that perspective, you know, how long does it take for people to make sales in 4 Networking? So how long did it take you, say you start your Recognition Express business off, for you to make your first sale?
Sort of 3-4 months, because they knew me as Matt from IT, so it had you know, a little while to change what I did. But again, the good thing is with what I do, it's easy. I do pens, I do mugs. I love pens, I love mugs. Well, have a pen, and that's the good thing about the business. It's simple. People go, yeah, that's something I think I need. And when you enthuse about a product, people go, yeah, I want some of that. So.
You know, one of the things that our Matt does is this whole piece as regards being generous with your support, generous with your advice, generous with your free pens, because you do liberally give them out to everyone.
Absolutely.
And I think that, to me, makes for an amazing 4 Networker, someone who's actually quite generous, and I think Matt exudes that whole thing. Steve?
What do you think there are things that 4 Networking members can do to increase their sales, to increase their connectivity with other members? What would be your suggestion to them?
More meetings, go regularly. You turn up once a month and then you don't turn up, people think you've gone bust. I mean, that's normal. I think once you're in, you've got to make the most of it. Find the groups that work well for you. Find the people that you have the greatest synergy with. You know, that could be close to home or just could be the biggest amount of people. It has to be what's good for you and what you feel works. And then when you're there, be a nice guy. Get on the team. Get known, get seen.
Are there mistakes that you see that people make?
All the time.
What are the classics, do you reckon?
That's the classic cases, is people not explaining what they do, and they presume. And then people go, no idea. And week after week after week, they say the same nonsense, and people at the end of it still go, no idea.
Still no idea. But you know, it's interesting as an organisation, because we see people do that. And is it our place, and I don't know, I'm asking the question, is it our place to go up to someone and say, actually, your approach is wrong? And actually, I've personally done it. My bedside manner might need a little bit of work. But, you know, I've done that, and they've ended up, you know, with egg on your face effectively. Is that our place, and should 4 Networking do that, or should the members, how was the best way to police something like that?
I reckon for me it's group leader or part of the team. So, you know, it's our meetings. We want the people to go away from my meeting or someone else's meeting with the best opportunities. So if we can see fundamental issues, have a one-to-one with them, have a chat, say, look, why don't you try this, this, this and this? And then they go away and go, that's a great idea. And actually, as a group leader, it's raised your profile, and actually people think, what a good guy, what a great guy.
You changed your direction, you know, from IT, you went into this, this kind of personalised drinking mugs and pens.
As well as,
the Recognition Express kind of product range. If you'd have taken 4N out of the equation, do you think you'd have been able to make that change?
You can be honest.
Yeah, because at the time it was something in my head. You know what I mean? I was finding it difficult. There was a lot of pressure for sales, and I knew I had to do something different. Before IT, I spent 16 years selling print and design, so I knew the sort of the ink on paper industry. So it was a natural progression. And actually, the guy who owns the franchise used to own the print franchise. So I phoned up and said, "Hey there, interview, job done." You know, franchise given. So it was sort of that quick. But 4N has helped me with my development and actually just getting out there.
Matt, just tell me, I'm just vaguely remembering now we're on a conversation. Didn't I burn your ears off? And I can't remember 100%, it might be way off it. Didn't I burn your ears off to start your own business?
Yeah, you were saying, if you support, you know, if you do your own business, I'll support you, I'll look after you, mate. I remember you saying, and I was, you know, he said, you're not right for this, this isn't what you do, you're the wrong character for doing this. But sometimes it just takes that one day to go, yeah, I'm done. I'm
just had enough. So, an opportunity to change.
Are you making as much money as when you was employed at the moment?
Not yet, but what I am doing is enjoying life more. Quality of life.
Steve, that is the point I made earlier. That's it.
Well, of course, that was in the video as well, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
If you could buy another extra day of your life at the end, every day is so important to do what you really want to do.
Yep. I mean, on Monday, I'm meeting my nephews who were going to go and find the Shaun the Sheeps around town. Well, before I couldn't do that because I couldn't.
You'd have to ask for some of a day off and you had to commit yourself and all this like that.
So I could say, my sister said, "You free?" I went, "Yep, cool. Let's go."
Best idea.
And I'll tell you what, the one thing I will say about with 4N, it's given me the opportunity. There is another 4N member in the group I run. I've been offered a consultancy position within the business to sell digital print. It's a brand new opportunity. It's paid and with a possibility of directorship in the future. Great opportunity, and he's seen what I sell, how I sell this, and he said, "I want your board."
That's the thing. See, people are always doing due diligence on people. So, you know, Matt is a product of his environment in that actually what he does is he sells himself every single time. He's got an amazing reputation, because if he didn't, he wouldn't be here. So, you see, even more people are going to see he's got an amazing reputation and he's a stand-up guy. I don't know. I think, Matt, to that camera there, tell people where they can find your products and services.
They can find my products and services at www.re-bristolnorth.co.uk. That's my website. If you want a catalogue, give me a call.
So if you want a catalogue, just give them a call. It's as simple and straightforward as that. And when it comes to finding suppliers or supplying within 4 Networking, there's a lot of people that are finding exactly the same kind of success story that Matt is having. If you're a 4 Networking member, this is a great opportunity for you. There are no two ways about it. And it isn't just me saying it, it's people just like you who are saying it.
Foreign's known for its know, like, trust philosophy. So you get to meet people, you get to know them, you get to like them, and then you'll trust them.
Through 4N, I've actually met my accountant. I see her more as a friend now, and I believe that if you come regular to the same meetings, you do build up trust with people.
You get to know them. You get to know them first, them as people. So then when you go and work with them, you kind of know what they're going to be like and how easy they're going to be to work with. That's
a big thing for me. Trust and honesty is a massive issue for me in terms of morals and ethics. So being able to find people who I think are like-minded, which I found everybody in 4N seems to be, because if they're not like-minded, they don't stay.
Well, quite a lot of the businesses that I use for my own, you know, like suppliers that are helping me with my marketing, website, stuff like that, I use everyone through 4N now.
My business coach is 4N, my printer's from 4N.
I only buy from 4N members. People buy from people, but at the end of the day, you've got to trust that person.
Don't expect to walk into a 4N meeting for the first time, come out with loads of business, but you come out with loads of new relationships, and that's fundamental for growing your business.
It is truly all about using people just like you to supply you with the things that you need for your business. That's what 4 Network is all about. You've heard the story there from Matt. That just shows you just how powerful an organisation it is. But do you know what? It's not all about business. No, siree. It's also about having a life as well, something outside of business. That's true, isn't it?
That's right. Massive social calendar that I've got as a result of 4 networking members, in terms of friends, in terms of opportunities to go on holiday together, to go out getting drunk together, to whatever. You know, this is the thing. When
you don't drink, do you?
Occasionally. When my Zambuca, best Zambuca days are over, but when you get older, as you start getting older, your friends start dying, they start emigrating, they start getting married, they stop playing out anymore, and actually your friendship pool starts going smaller. Not with 4 networking, you can actually start building that up. And I've got loads of friends, they're UK over with 4 networking, and it's great because Matt, you're based over in Bristol. Yep. You've got friends within 4 networking that you
I've got some really good mates. Yeah, go out bowling, go to casino.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But then there's the charity side of things as well, isn't there?
Well, you know, the interesting thing about the charity side is what we do at every 4 networking meeting. We have a fund find system. So we have, I don't know, 300 charities or whatever it is around the UK that we represent. If somebody goes over the time, we charge them £1, and these things go into a bit of a charity pot, and we give to lots of local charities around the UK.
Now, occasionally, it's been known that you, Brad Burton...
You're not going to do that, are you, Steve?
You might... I mean, you've been challenged to Sky... If you've ever thought to yourself, do you know, I fancy challenging you to do something outrageous. I mean, have you done skydiving yet?
Let me explain what happened, Steve.
All right, then.
This is the story. I was due to be doing a charity dive for a cancer charity. And what happened is my weight wasn't right. You've got to be under 15 stone, and I was 14.9, and I just thought there's £5 to play with or whatever it was. It was a bit too tight. So I said to the charity company, I can't actually do that because of the weight thing. And they said, oh, not a problem. And then somebody else stepped in, somebody else who'd previously offered me a chest wax for charity, and I chose to say, well, I couldn't do it because I'm doing the parachute jump for the cancer charity. And as it happened, as soon as I pulled back from on Facebook, this other company came in and said, can you help us out, this other charity? And the answer was...
What was the charity you were raising money
for? Josh, a young man over in the Midlands who actually he was attacked and he's in a bad way. So basically, this money that we tried to raise for this charity was in order to buy him the changes to his home that he needed in order for his mum to look after him at home rather than in hospital care.
So did you throw yourself out of a plane?
No, and then the worst thing ever. Let me explain something, right? Because I know you've got it lined up, I assume. But yeah.
I've watched the whole thing, actually. We've shortened this down, but honestly...
Thank goodness for that. So I do hope you've managed to do... Is it before the watershed now? Because there might be a few swear words in there. But I did actually have my chest waxed, and we raised 1,100 quid on the evening. And
well, listen, well done on that. And let's just take you to the scene. Imagine Brad flat on his back, and his chest hairs have been waxed.
Oh, no. Oh, shit.
Stop swearing. I'm going to put the wax there. You're going to then put that on there, and you're going to read that way.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Well, no thought is that first person to rip off.
Okay.
Our 4 networking sticker.
Right, 1,
go.
2, 3.
Go! Oh. Yeah, show us the sticker. Donate. Look at the pain. Look at the pain that Brad's going through. Donate. JustGiving.com.
You ready?
You ready?
Me! Now! It's in oh, God, have some nice soothing lotion on there.
That is all worth it. Oh, keep going.
Well done, Brad.
Thank you very much, ladies.
And Spaghetti Joe, that makes him smile.
So it makes me smile as well.
Oh, bless you.
I just love it. Was the end bit as nice, or was it just because the bit before it was so awful?
I think that's probably a good assessment of it. I actually think we need to put an 18 certificate on there for it to continue that, Steve, yeah. But no, great fun. But and it just shows you the whole thing that we don't take ourselves too seriously. And even from my perspective, you know, a big lad from Manchester, but I wasn't taking myself seriously. I tell you, I was going to back out of that. I was going to back out of that whole thing there. But then I realised, you know, it was a great cause. Dosh for Josh. If you go into the hashtag there, you'll find it. And that's the reason I didn't back out. And sometimes that's what you need in life. You need a reason to actually do the things that you don't want to do.
Well, I'll tell you what, with that wraps up today's show. It's been an absolute pleasure as always having you with us. Matt Richardson, Recognition Express from Bristol. It's been a pleasure having you with us on the show today. If you, Brad, had something to say to the 4 networking viewers, what would it be?
you know, whether it's a 4Networking member or somebody who's never been to 4Networking, this is a UK-centric business network, and it's a business network that's like no other. It genuinely is. And your business needs appointments. We all need appointments, and that's what you get at 4Networking, 3 10-minute appointments. So give us a try.
As simple and as straightforward as that. From me, Steve Hyland, thank you very much indeed for watching. From Brad and from Matt.
Thank you very much.
And from all of us here at 4Networking TV, until we do it all again next month, have yourself a great month. And don't forget, get out there, get to those meetings and make them work for you. From all the team, see you next month. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Smile, be chat, join 4Networking.